Hi, my name is Sebastian and I grew up in Reading. I enjoy going to the theatre, the more bizarre the better. There's something about being able to slip into a different mental space which engages my imagination, and it makes me feel like I'm part of something so much bigger. I also like reading fiction and non-fiction and spend time walking my dog in the open air. I'm the eldest of 3 siblings, and my mother before she died was an alcoholic, which resulted in an emotionally turbulent household. It was unpredictable and a real lack of emotional security. I went to school in Reading, where attendance twice a week at chapel was compulsory. I hated having to conform. I found it stuffy, cold and distant. My only impression then of Christianity was it was not relevant and it was total nonsense. Before I found faith that I have today, I felt physically and emotionally isolated from the world. I found it a frightening place and it filled me with anxiety, and that was very much not part of it. I felt alone, that something was missing in me, so I drank, eventually alcoholically for many, many years. I thought it helped me to calm my washing machine head and to begin with to fit in, to try and engage socially with my peers, to cope with everyday life. Approximately 5 years ago, I reached a very low ebb. I remember lying in my bed as a sense of calmness just washed over me, and I knew that suicide was a way out, and it was okay. Almost immediately afterwards, I felt what I now know to have been the Holy Spirit speaking to me. I suddenly felt that I was not alone, and that one day at a time it would be all right, and I need not take my own life. My brother then recommended that I go to Alcoholics Anonymous, where I met a lady who was in time to become my sponsor within the fellowship. During one of our conversations, she mentioned that she was a regular attendee at Andover Baptist Church, who were conducting services online due to COVID, and that I might perhaps like to watch one of them. I then took an enormous leap of faith, and I was astounded to see a preacher dressed in regular clothes, speaking about Christ with such enthusiasm and in a layman's language. The songs were upbeat and the lyrics actually made sense, which was somewhat odd to my first encounter with Christianity at school. I then joined Alpha, followed by the Next Steps group on the Old Testament, which was fascinating, and it really brought Christianity to life for me. And I met up for coffee and a chat with one of the participants in Alpha, who was very kind, and he went along with me to my first service in the church, from which I have never looked back. I was lucky enough to be accepted to do service on the tech team, and then afterwards with the kids and youth, and this has brought a whole new dimension to my faith. It's really helped me to grow, to experience joy and a real sense of belonging. Now I feel that I do belong, the empty space in me having been filled by the Holy Spirit. I know that I'm not alone and God is with me. He loves me unconditionally, and this is truly amazing. And this has enabled me to begin to accept myself more, making me accountable for my behaviour, my thoughts and my actions, and it's empowering me to do the next right thing. And I believe that through God I am growing and maturing as a person, and I feel more okay with just being okay, and getting joy out of letting go and letting God be in charge. And I hope, as a result, I'm a much nicer person to be around. I think of others more often, and I'm growing to be more like Jesus. My anxiety and depression are lessening. I no longer always feel socially awkward, suicidal and alone, and I have a purpose to grow in faith, accountability, and I can delight in following the Lord wherever He may wish me to go. I would like to thank my sponsor. I will not forget your kindness, your support, and introducing me to ABC and the joy of being a Christian. I'd also like to thank Rob Hadfield and Chris Porter for their time in answering my faith-based questions and to listening to me, and to the whole of my Bible study group for helping me grow in faith. And finally, I want to thank all the kids and youth team and the children and the young people who continue to be an inspiration to me. My name is Sebastian, and my faith in Jesus has changed everything.